It is. It really is. And the thing is, like, if you never had quality live resin, you're never gonna know. But once you do have it, you're like, oh wow, I've been fucking up.
The best, dude. Yeah. It's like comparing like lemonade, right?
You know it's To Be Blunt Podcast.
Yes, sir. Well, I don't know what he's talking about. What is the Brooklyn thing? You know what he's talking about?
No idea.
No clue.
Brooklyn in the house. Maybe we missed something earlier in the chat.
Anyway.
Switching?
Are we switching? I don't know. What are you smoking? Same thing?
Nah, they different.
All right. Whatever.
One's fire.
They're all fired.
It's like this. 2001, 2004.
There it is. And now the main event, our guest. My man, success story. From Connecticut all the way to Colorado. Terpicana Extracts. You've seen him on shows online. You've seen him on Instagram. You've seen him all over the place. Terpicana Extracts. Let's bring in my man. Please help me welcome Kyle in the house. What's up, brother?
Yo. What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome, bro. How are you doing? How are you guys doing?
We're doing good now. Now that we made it, we got this thing going.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm pumped, man. I have been doing this a long time, you know. Connecticut's where I'm from. I was born and raised there, and was up there up until high school. So Colorado is just where the laws have been best for everything here.
That's the thing is, like, that's what I was saying. Like, he hit me up when you hit me up,
That's
Kyle,
dope.
and you were like, first thing you said was like, "You from Connecticut?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Yes, yes."
Show the love.
Oh, yeah.
And then you were like, "We got to talk it."
It's the best, and I miss it for a lot of reasons, but Colorado's way different, obviously. But being in the industry here so long, I know all the right people, and it would make no sense unless I'm doing something on a larger scale in Connecticut to go back and try to do what I'm doing here as far as growing very fire flower and turning it into extracts that are basically THCA extracts.
That's the whole thing. It's the THCA, man. It was like it's like a big thing right now.
For sure, and it's kind of a weird loophole because everyone thinks it's this weird synthetic, cannabis or whatever, or they think it's actually hemp. But they're the same plant. It's just a matter of the basically the THC content, and if it's active. So like distillate can never be THCA, right? Because it's combusted and
Right.
Evaporated and turned into THC just by the heat. So anything that's done at the right temperatures, like even flour, you don't like heat dry it or do anything stupid, then it'll end up testing THCA.
As soon as you combust it, that THCA that turns to THC. Now you're fucked. It's a whole different ball game. It's a whole other set of rules and regulations you got to fucking go through. You know what I mean? Which is actually crazy. I started learning about THCA like early last year was when I had Edgar Unicorn on. He introduced me that he had a THCA company and sent me some stuff to try. And I was like, holy shit. I'm like, you never would fucking know.
It's the same shit.
It's the same shit.
Yeah, exactly. and they know it too. I mean, it's trying to be changed, obviously. There was a lot of rumors that this fall there was going to be a crackdown on it, basically,
right,
as far as the bill. But for now, it's a very weird environment. Like Cookies has a THCA site. A bunch of other companies have a THCA site. And for me, it's like a very small scale thing that I'm doing just to show people what real live resin is, because the market's flooded with the fake live resin.
From
every fucking thing you get these days is live resin. Even though you're just like, okay,
for sure.
Look at it and you could tell you're like, that's not live, right?
Throw that shit in the
right.
trash. Yeah, I want to hit that shit.
So exactly. The whole thing with live resin is you're taking the flower instead of you're basically trimming off everything that you don't want. So the fan leaves, you're bucking it off the stem, and then you're freezing it immediately. And what you're doing then is you're putting it into an extractor to extract it. And it's the same thing with good live rosin. where you're washing it in water, which I also do. But yeah, that's basically the process. And a lot of people don't understand that the name live resin was invented here in Colorado when Kind Bill first did it, and it's like blown up into this term that everyone now tries live resin and they hate it because they're like, it's basically trash. It's all trim,
Right.
color remediated, nasty shit with added flavors or terps added back, and it's like a big scam right now.
It really is though. It's coming out everywhere.
Yeah,
it is. It is. It really is. And the thing is, like, if you've never had quality live resin, you're never gonna know. But once you do have it, you're like, oh wow, I've been fucking it up.
The best, dude. Yeah, it's like comparing like lemonade, right?
It literally is.
Like you have like lemonade with lemons that's fresh squeezed, or you have like the lemonade country crock powder that you put into a thing and of water and shake it up and it's lemonade, and that's
Right.
delicious right
the
now.
powder is what everyone's trying right now. Saying I don't like lemonade.
Damn, man. So what the fuck? You came up in Connecticut. You decided to move to Colorado. I mean, this is a whole thing. Is I'm wondering, how did you go from this to starting an extract business and then deciding to go the THCA route? Like, what made you leave Connecticut in the first place? Was it just because of the regulations?
Yeah, so I went to college in Florida. So I left Connecticut to go to college, and then after college, I was
come
like,
back from that then.
Word.
You know, why would you come back from that?
No, I wasn't about to come back. I was pretty ready to go explore the world and everything else at that time, but I didn't really get a chance to. I mean, I moved here because of opportunity. Really, this was kind of the hot spot for cannabis. I mean, California too, but Colorado is more my vibe. So I decided just to come out here after college and pursue cannabis. I said, just screw what I went to school for, and jumped into it and met the right people, worked the right jobs, and got in there to learn how to grow.
Who you know, too. You know what I mean?
It always ends up like who you meet, those connections you make, and when you're a real person, that always comes through. You're a real dude from Connecticut. So, that's right. Real man from see, that's always gonna come through.
It's funny because you tell people out here that you're from Connecticut, and they're like, they look at you in confusion because they have no idea what it's like,
or where it is even.
You mean where we're gonna hang out? Yeah,
that's the way it is. Yeah. I get it all the time. They're like, "Where's that? Is that like
exactly?" No one fucking knows about us. We are obscure as fuck.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Sure. Right
because we're too. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem, though. Yep. We're in between two very popular locations, and everything else surrounding that is bullshit. Between Providence, Boston, and New York City, we're just nothing.
Just say, oh, you know where Foxwoods Casino is?
Yeah, right. You know Mohegan.
Exactly.
Oh, something like, oh shit. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, no, it's just a small state too. It's not huge.
No, not at all.
That's a big move, though. Still,
that's a lot to pack up from Connecticut to go right out from Florida to Connecticut, then to Colorado.
It was all. I was young at the time, so for me, it was like the motherland, This is before Colorado went rec. And
what year is this?
This is what
this was the end of 2012.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
let's say at least a decade.
I got into it like immediately and met the right people and just jumped into it, man. And the people that I met, you can't really meet today. It's not the same environment. There was not many legal states back then, and people would come here as basically like a destination for cannabis.
Of course, because it was the only place literally aside from California that you could go.
And that's like
exactly. Or I think maybe Washington at the time, or
True, right, you're right. They went early too, but like still, like Colorado was the destination. I mean, there were people who flocked there
for sure
from the east and the Midwest. They would have flocked there because as soon as that shit went out, I'm like, oh, I can't get medicine for my kid. I'm going to go to California. Oh, I want to smoke weed. Fuck it, I'm going to California. Oh, I want to work in cannabis. I got to go to Colorado.
Now, now we only got halfway. Colorado is the spot.
That's right.
Yeah, Colorado has just always been like, for me, a very beautiful, like, I don't know, just beautiful place in general. So I wanted to move here, but it was more over the cannabis industry that I was just like, I need to get into it. This is what I want to do. And I smoked weed when I was young in Connecticut, and
how you go from a weed to the extract? I haven't made the jump. I still haven't made the jump.
Yeah, well, you did tonight.
I know I hit it once, and I love that little fucking thing he got right there. I'm gonna get one.
So the
Like
jump,
hard.
jump. You mean from like going at like flower to extracts?
Yeah.
I just like getting higher. I like smoking fat dabs, and a lot of at the beginning, man, it was not good quality. Like before live resin, even like
you were getting like BHO back then and shit. You know what I mean?
That's what turned me off. You know what I mean? Because it was years ago when I tried it. I was like,
you were I mean, the shit back then was garbage.
It was not for me.
It was like brown and fucking
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's just
gooey mess.
Yeah, you needed like a
hard as a rock, whatever fucking,
or just like oily, like
disgusting. I mean? Stuck between wax paper,
like someone just strained resin into like a jar. That's what you got.
But see, I love hash. I'll sprinkle a little hash in a joint or on a blunt or something like that. I love me some hash, man, always, all day.
So I'd say, how I got into this is it was just part of the lifestyle at the time, like innovating extracts, right? So trying to create a better version of what currently existed. And I think if you remember back in the day, everyone was open blasting into Pyrex dishes and boiling it off houses.
I watched my buddy Matt do that shit a bunch of times, yo.
Yeah.
Matt,
I don't know what you talking about.
He would bust that shit right down into that thing.
And that's how most of it started, honestly. And then closed loops were thereafter shortly invented and changed the game kind of forever. And Colorado was really the pioneer for most of this equipment as far as companies that made it and innovated it and pioneered different things. Like the equipment that you could get in, let's say 2013 or 2014 is totally different than the equipment that exists now and what the industry standards are as far as like how things operate between machines.
Pressing oils out of like hair straighteners. You know what I mean? You ever hear some shit like that?
Of course.
Hair straightener, do they see that's like, damn, bro, that's some MacGyver
People
shit.
still do that shit.
I know
that's ghetto flower rosin.
That's exactly it.
Tasty. This shit was tasty too, but I ain't fuck with it.
Not for me.
No.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the difference, though. You know what I mean? That's between that and like doing the methods they use today, you get a totally different product.
Right, and that's what I got.
Totally different. I mean, different expression even a little bit between how you're extracting, like even live resin to live rosin, running the same material. You get a bunch of differences as far as how it is.
So rosin, what's that? Like, what's the difference?
Okay, so live resin is basically butane extraction at cryogenic temperatures, and you're extracting basically the essentials of what you want to smoke from the plant. Everything else that's water soluble doesn't end up in the extract. So your end product is actually a little bit cleaner in terms of the stuff that you're pulling out of the plant versus with live rosin, where you're taking the same material and then you're washing it in a vessel, or you have an automated system to knock the trichome heads off, the terpenes, and a bunch of other things that are anything that's on the bud basically on the outside will go into your vessel, which then goes into your bubble bags, which you like if you like hash to put in your blunts. This is how you make that. So the next step of that though is you freeze dry it. So you'll sift out all your bubble bags, you'll put it on trays, and then you'll put in the freeze dryers, and then once they're freeze dried, you'll press them, depending on what press you have. I do not recommend a hair straightener, but
2014 some shit, bro. I seen some shit back in the day.
Do not use the hair straightener.
We came up since then.
No, for sure.
It's right one of the press
everything, yo. Metatron, he got everything.
God, yo.
Reynolds.
2024, you're sitting there in a corner trying to press that shit with your fucking wife's hair straightener.
What the fuck is on?
Why is my hair sticking to my thing? Oh my God, can you imagine? Went to go rip her hair out that shit. Oh my fucking God, bro. That's a skit right there. That definitely would happen.
But that actually, so the hair straightener is like the equivalent to rosin, what open blasting is to, BHO. So it was the beginning.
Yeah, that's it. It's true though. It's true. But what is your preference? Like, what is your method? What machines are you using? Like, I want to know what the difference is, because I need to educate over here, to the masses.
For sure. So as far as rosin, everything I have is pure pressure. So I have a pure pressure Long's Peak press, which is fully hydraulic and automated, ran by compressed air, and then I have a pure pressure washing system as well. As far as the butane side of it, it's all a custom design system. You can't buy it, but it's done, in a way that's efficient. Let's put it that way.
So you got like your own recipe, like there's a method, but you put your own little flavor to it.
Yeah, I do a lot of. I mean, it's so butane extraction, or propane or hexane or any of the other hydrocarbons. Using those, it's not really linear about how you do it. It's just using, science basically of heat and cold, or different things to be able to do what you want to do.
Right.
So there's a lot of different, I guess, nuances and the outcome that you're trying to achieve, and what the material you're trying to run and stuff like that.
It's a science that goes in there. There's so many different variables, and one little thing that goes off, and you're not going to get the end result you want. That's the whole thing with that. It's like that's the difference between nice quality, golden looking, extracts and your brown less than.
Yeah, that's all I see was like the brown shit. So you show me what you got on here. Word.
If you want your shit to look like the shit we were just smoking,
that's
you know what I mean? This is the difference. You got some decent shit looks like that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I think a lot of people are miseducated on butane, and just live resin in general. They think it's not organic when it's it is organic. I won't say any more than that, but at the end of the day, for me, I prefer butane or live resin over rosin, just because the high that I get isn't as sleepy, tired. I smoke 20 blunts and I want to go take a nap at 11 a.m. So with live resin, you get more of that energetic high, because you don't have the fats and the lipids and the waxes. You might have some, but not nearly what you have in.
You would have to do a butane method, right? Because otherwise, if you were to use any other method, which is pretty much involves heating it up, then you would end up losing the whole THCA factor.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and that's
you don't really have a choice. you're
do rosin and have it test, but the yield sucks. That's
okay.
See, I end up doing that. And that's why I said I do rosin, but at the same time, I mostly focus on live resin, only running really what I grow myself. So it's not, I'm just pushing out there's tons of companies out there right now that are pushing out just as much as they can, and they don't care about quality. It's if you have access, you can buy it. And for me, it's on a good enough size scale to where I can actually provide people quality medicine and quality access to things that the dispensary just doesn't really have anymore, because their margins are so out in Colorado. It's so competitive, and they're really focusing on selling the cheapest flower that they can. $60 ounces.
$60. Oh God!
You get what you pay for.
That's right. Exactly. I'm just gonna say that.
Here's the thing: is that most people who are going to the dispensary here, there's a massive community of people who just don't go to the dispensary at all, and they all just do their
grow
own
their
thing.
own shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So those people who do go to the dispensary, they're mostly nurses or teachers or construction workers or people who aren't connoisseurs, and all they care about is I'm stressed, let me smoke some joints. And that's I think the majority of people who do go to the dispensary, because if you're really about the plant and you're about the community, you're probably not going to find that much super fire at the dispensary, and even then you're going to spend a ton of money for it. here.
I'm here in Connecticut. So arm and a leg at the fucking store.
And you're not even getting quality shit, bro.
Nah, that's why I started growing my own shit too. But like, I'm trying to get the biggest yield. I'm just smoking the bud. I just want the bud.
Yeah.
What's it like growing for that THCA shit? What's that like? What's that harvest like?
As far as yield or
yeah, like what are you pushing it for? Like you trying to get big, massive buds still?
Got you. So I'm going more for resin content on my plants, and obviously they do bulk out. Like I use a nutrient line that's one of the best in the world as far as what they do, and I've gone from base salts to basically trying to do it the cheapest and then doing it kind of how I wanted it. And I mean, this line is the best. But
ask really, what it is.
It's called New Millennium Nutrients.
See, I was waiting for you to drop it, bro. Tell me the tricks.
I want to
know. Yeah. So you guys, if you don't know Jug Dealers podcast, I've been on there. Those are all my homies.
I wish I thought of that shit for a podcast name.
But they sell nutrients though. So it's Jaron and Gabe who host the show, and I've been on there. Those are my really good friends. I go see them up at 5/8 distribution, to get the things that I need there, from lights to nutrients to everything else. And they have the podcast studio there. So those are
that's dope.
Right at the shop.
Yeah, right at the shop.
It's sweet.
Content. Yeah.
And it's more of a warehouse. It's not even open to the public like that. It's like, their display room and all their stock and offices and conference rooms and a kitchen, and it's badass. It's really cool.
That's goals for me one day. That's what I want. Nice place where you can grow weed and do the show.
Come on by,
let's do it.
Look at some plants.
That's what I mean. That's the goal. It's the end game. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Do you have like specific strains that you lean towards when you're doing your extracts? Do you have like a certain set that you use? Are you do you like aim towards like a more citrusy flavor to go with the whole gimmick of the Terpicana? Like I want to know like what the thought process is behind that.
That's a good question. So for me, doing genetics, like I run a lot of stuff, man. I have probably 75 strains that I run right now.
75?
That's gotta be beautiful.
Yeah, not even all at the same time, just in rotation, trying to figure out what's the super fire amongst the new stuff that's out there. I have a bunch of older stuff too that's legendary, but it doesn't compare to a lot of the new stuff that just is covered in trichomes, and it's what people are looking for as far as flower.
Extracts, honestly, you want that cake resin, you want that.
Exactly, it's a win-win. So like I can save some of the flower to smoke myself, and then run the rest of it. And that's where I really enjoy live resin, because you're getting the base, like the entire essence of the plant while it's living in extract form. You open the jar and you're like, damn. So yeah, genetics. Here's the thing with genetics is that with live resin, it's a lot more forgiving. Like you're going to get a higher yield. With live rosin, when you're growing for washers, strains that wash well. I have a bunch of strains that are just washers that I've tested out.
It bugs me out. Not to cut you off, man, but like that is one thing to me when I see people doing that. I like cringe inside. Why would you put your weed in the water for?
Get it out quick.
They're drowning. Save them. Like what the fuck? You always thinking, because in my head, I'm thinking to myself, like, when it's in flower and you're growing outdoors and it rains and all of a sudden you get mold and all this shit. Like, I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck? Now you're just going to dump it in water on purpose? You know what I mean?
All that work.
Yeah. And that's, I don't do live rosin that much, but there's a lot of people who only smoke it. Like, there's people who are snobs and just don't even smoke live resin. They're only about hash rosin, and it has to be this micron, and people are bougie out here as far as that's concerned.
Oh, I bet you between there and Oregon, super bougie right there between those two.
Bougie stoners everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. But I think those two definitely. People know what. Let's just say people know what they like. You know what I mean? They know what they like out there.
No, they know what they like, and they'll pay for it. Number one, but number two, they won't smoke anything else. Like you offer them live resin, and they'll they'll say, and a lot of them will try it, but they're not gonna, switch from smoking rosin. And I don't know. I grew up I didn't, not growing up, but coming out here, I was in the era of BHO. Like, live rosin wasn't a thing back then. It was in terms of making bubble hash, and some people would make melts and make, other things, but not like the live rosin side of it. It's like it's come up within the past, like, say 6 years, probably 7 years, that it really has become more prominent.
Do you have any plan to also do other kinds of, other than just like THCA, like, CBD, actual THC, things like that, like different? Are you trying to branch out? Or are you going to stay with the THCA line?
I'm, doing the THCA thing while we can, and while it lasts. I mean, who knows what the future holds as far as regulation and how they're going to control it and everything else. But I mean, CBD I did for a long time. I mean, it was the wave in 2018, 2019.
Right before COVID.
Yeah, I mean, you could sell kilos of CBD for a lot of money. And I had a buddy who was in Tennessee.
Weighing a kilo, 2 point something. I don't know the math.
Yeah, basically a 1,000 milliliter, glass jar that you could get of CBD distillate back in the day. And dude, you could sell those things for so much.
So I got a bunch of trim left from my grow I just finished. Like, how do I make bubble hash with that? What do I do?
That's a good question, honestly.
I got this whole table tray full of like this crystally ass trim, and I don't. What the fuck do I do with it?
Well, you could. I mean, yeah.
So, do you have any kind of bubble bag system, like a 5-gallon bucket or anything?
That's what I'm talking about. What system do I need for that? Yeah.
Okay. Just Google search 5-gallon bucket rosin washer.
The preferred brand.
I know. So
there's so many brands that make
don't really fuck with it like that. Like,
I do on a big scale. Just so
right,
like, scale we're talking about here is more like home grower. I was just on the Dude Grows show, and I think I talked a little bit about it there, and they had mentioned a company that was pretty good. I could actually look it up on my phone.
Word. I checked Amazon. Just like the mesh.
You gotta get it's like the hash bags. You can find them things anywhere, bro.
Bubble bags, yeah.
There we go. Bubble bags.
I'm not good at instructions. I'm good at advice. That's why I ask. Like, I see the instructions, I throw them out, and I call a buddy. You know what I mean?
I just don't know. Have a preferred brand. All you do is you take your flower, try to get as much of the leaf material off of it. Whether it's fan leaves or whatever just ended up in the bag. Put that in ice water in your 5-gallon bucket, put the flour in there, and then you'll want to agitate it. So you can do that, I'd say at that size with like a paddle or something to just agitate it. Yeah, stir it up, but not too crazy. Like, you want to kind of knock the trichome heads off without like getting a bunch of the plant material in there as well.
I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah, because then you keep rushing, then you keep going through the bags, and at the end you get like your product.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? So you got
and you got to get a freeze dryer too, probably, if you're gonna do it properly.
True.
Yeah.
You would need the freeze dryer. I don't know if Gabe's got that though.
He got a line for everything. That man will get it. You put it in his ear, he'll get it. Metatron homegrown made in CT, he'll get it.
They really have everything. There's a place right around the corner from us that like you could just rent all this shit too. It's fucking crazy. You want to make your own press at home? You want to bring it home? Here, you can rent it from our store and press your shit.
So smart, man. I mean, I would do that. I'd do that in a heartbeat, to be honest.
Yeah, bro.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can bring my whole harvest to the store. They'll pop it in a cannon roll and dry it. I just rent it out.
10 days.
Yeah, right for you, no problem. They'll sit there and they'll run it for you. It's crazy.
Wow.
I know. People don't that shit right in Meriden,
Connecticut.
No way.
Yes. Yes, yo. Out Metatron.
Survive.
One of the only places I know that rents the hardware you need to do this shit. You could literally rent anything for your grow.
And my man also got the hemp license. They got clones, everything you need over there, right at the grow shop.
That's
everything.
That's what. So he's got the hemp license. Is he selling like just the whatever genetics, or it's not like hemp genetics, right?
No, well, there's certain levels. I'm not sure. I was talking with him too much, but they got everything on right. You know, all the laws are straight. I'm not the man for all that. I'm not good with the details.
But yeah, they sound like they have like their hemp shit. They got their own genetics you can do, but they also have everything you can want to grow or press or whatever. It's like the place is stacked.
All the clones anyway are THCA. It's not
active. Right. So, yeah. So that's why it's legal for them to do it with their whatever. But
yeah, and that's, I mean, as far as like the genetic side of it too, like you have to make sure with HLVD that you don't, get some really infected cuts. Make sure people actually test shit and you're getting them proper.
That's the big thing is, you want to make sure you're getting some good shit. Yeah. You don't want, that's right. Exactly. That's the whole thing. Especially if you're getting the tested shit, at least you know what's in there, what you're ingesting. You know what I mean?
Funny, yeah. That's the whole thing. You get something good.
That's right.
Do you guys know about HLVD? The hot latent viroid? Oh shit. Okay. So it's basically a viroid that infects the plant, and it's very, very contagious. Meaning, bugs can spread it between the plants. You can spread it cloning. It's bad, and it's infected a lot of the gardens in the U.S., especially big ones that have had to cut down everything because it's a viroid that makes the plant just a dud, essentially.
What?
And there's testing.
I never heard about this.
Yeah, so you get basically now the quota, the standard in Colorado is that you have to be running everything from tissue culture. So wipe everything in your facility, get all your genetics sent off to a place that can test them for HLVD, and then the ones that are hot, you'll send off to a lab for tissue culturing, which they'll take anywhere from 3 to 6 months to take the viroid out via tissue culture and send the clones back.
They can do that?
Yeah.
That is science.
Keep it
alive. Yeah, it's
science, guy.
Ain't no clone no more though, bro. It's
No, it's basically a clone that they propagate for you. They'll send you them back, but it's synthetically grown in agar, which is basically like a seed essentially, that the plant grows up as, and that's everyone does it. Now here's the issue is that if you put it into a facility, everything has to be clean. I mean, super clean with it's a 1 to 10 bleach to water solution.
Oh wow, strong.
yeah. So super strong, or maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's, I forget. I'm high. I'll clarify that later. But you have to make sure everything's clean and super clean. And there's a lot of people who grow in big soil beds, right? So they're using living soil. They're not doing anything hydro, no, drained away synthetics, just straight soil beds. And there's massive beds in their rooms, and
like earth boxes and shit.
Yeah, I've seen those earth boxes and small tents.
Exactly.
What you doing, bro?
So this viroid lives in the root zone for the most part, or it's most prominent in the root zone of the plant. And if you're not changing out your soil or your cocoa or any of your media that you're growing in after each run, you're going to end up getting it again. Right. And it's
right, because I know people who say they're growing, they've used the same soil for 3-4 runs in a row.
Yeah, and I'm crazy. What? Yeah, that drives me crazy. Fuck that.
What? Like, oh yeah, but it's organic, it's all natural. Like I'm like, I don't give a fuck, that don't sound right to me.
Freshen up,
at least top it off with some new shit,
And that's my thing with living soil is that you don't have nearly the gauge on what exactly you're doing or what the plant wants or giving it what it wants, versus cocoa hydro for the most part, where you're giving synthetic organic nutrients via water and giving the plant what it needs, and the media is inert, so you're not retaining any of the nutrients in the media, whether it's, like I said, it's cocoa or hydrogen or anything like that.
What are you growing for your plants?
Cocoa.
Well, that's what I'm usually doing back here.
Yeah,
I grow with a blend from Synthetix, which is from the same distributor and company that I get the nutrients from as well. Okay. And it's a 70-30 blend where there's no perlite. It's basically cocoa chunks.
Cocoa chunks.
Yeah, combined with cocoa. So the drainage is much better. You don't get that clogging.
Nice.
that you get with just cocoa.
I think you got a clog.
Yes, you were saying, yeah, you thought the same thing. I don't know if you saw. I got a busted ass plant here.
She's looking a little frail. She'll come back.
And he thought that he was root bound. You were talking the same thing about like it wouldn't drain. I actually bought plant risers on Amazon today for that shit, so that won't hopefully.
Here's the thing: is if you're feeding constantly, if you're in cocoa or whatever, you got to let them dry out. You know,
I don't.
That dry back is so important.
I've had them for a week and I only fed them twice.
You're gonna dry them out.
So put that out there.
How big are they?
One's this big and the other one's.
You could feed them. You could feed them once and then wait a week and a half, and let them really dry back and let the roots go and search for the water.
Okay.
Science.
See, I've always thought you had to water more and feed cocoa.
So the man that cuts from Canna Cuts, he sends everything out to be tested. It's cannacuts.com. He got like breeder cuts and all that shit. But he told me the same shit I got a cut a while back, and it got root bound in the cocoa. He's like, yo, just let it dry out. It looks like it's almost gonna die. And I trimmed the leaves back. I put it right in front of the humidifier. I stopped watering that bitch, and she came back strong. That's the shit I'm smoking right here. This Cadillac Rainbow. She came back good, man. Yeah.
You let them dry back, and they'll
right.
Good. You know?
See, I feel like a whole new. This is totally different. I've never actually grown in cocoa. I've always grown outside, like in soil. So this is not only my first.
And here's the thing. Like what I'm talking about is mostly for production. It's not, you know, if you're growing in organic soil and you're just smoking the weed, that's great. And I would do that too if I was just, you know, not a super nerd about it.
Right.
On scale, when you're managing 100 lights or however many lights, you know, you run, that's more than just a grow tent. You have to make sure that all the plants are getting the feed that they want. And some strains are a little bit different. Some are more hungry, you know, they want more calcium or magnesium than others, and they'll be hungrier earlier for bloom nutrients. So you have to be very specific about how you're feeding different stages of plants, especially if you're in a perpetual harvest. But if you're just running, let's say, one full room, you know, on the same timeline,
right?
If you're running different strains, which you have to nowadays, you want to make sure that the feed is basically even enough to where they'll all be happy with it, and then maybe go around and hit some of them individually that you see, you know, strain wise that need extra, you know, whatever the deficiency looks like. So I think they both have their place, right? Like you can't manage a massive grow in living soil. It's each pot is its own living biome, right? So you could have so many different variables between all the different soil that you have. And there are some people that try to do it, but they're just not growing top shelf fire on the scale. It's so hard.
I'm trying to get there.
I know. Listen, I'm glad that you even brought that up, dude, because honestly, I never would have thought that this was the deal.
Like, I'm a moron. So I asked somebody, I'm like, dude, what the fuck am I doing with my plant? You know, I said, am I overwater, underwater? And he says like the same symptoms. He's like, yo, if you overwater, underwater, the plant's gonna look the same. So what's your soil like? What's your cocoa like? You know, I don't know if I wasn't having a drainage or whatever it was, but my shit was locked up. But she came right back.
Yeah, well, that'd be nice.
You gotta hold on, bro.
That would be nice.
You gotta hold on.
I'm holding on for dear life.
I heard good things about her, man. I heard good things, but that black maple looks fire still. She looks so different. Different.
That black maple is fire.
Yeah, you had it. I haven't smoked it yet.
Oh yeah, I've smoked the shit out of that. There's a lot of that rosin floating around. Like I'd say, like maybe a year ago. Here as well. So
makes sense. You're there. Just out here now.
Isn't that what is that? Boston Roots or who bred that?
I forgot. I couldn't even.
Which one?
I wish I did. For
the black maple.
Oh, I know. I can look it up right here.
Yeah, you got it.
What we do? Just regular black maple, because I got the black maple 22.
Yeah, do that.
The 22.
That's the one everyone wanted.
I think this one is proper cannabis.
Proper cannabis.
Boston
Seed Co.
Yeah, Boston.
Yeah, I said something else, but I just was high and
You
forgot
were
the
there.
actual.
It sounded the same to me, boss.
Yeah.
I heard it.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I've never had that shit. I thought the 22. I've had the regular black maple and I loved it. So hopefully the 22 is just as fire as the original. That shit was gas. You know what I mean?
For sure. They're good breeders. I'll give them that. They definitely have had some hits this past couple of years.
Definitely better breeder than me, that's for sure.
Well, breeding's like, a lot of people think it's easy. You're just taking,
No.
you have to be really good at growing good cannabis and then produce that with, whether you're using feminized seed, doing feminized seed and reversing, plants, or you're using actual male pollen. Like, you have to grow the best shit that passes on into the genetics too. There's a lot of growers or like breeders who are lazy and will just do the bare minimum and say, oh, well, they're just making seeds. And, believe it or not, that level of quality then gets into the future lines of the plant.
That's crazy. I just got seeds from my man at Cannabis Labs, and he's just getting into all the genetics and all that shit. And I smoked his weed, his Barnyard Haze. It was fire. It reminded me of the Piff. Like
Barnyard Haze.
Yeah, because his nickname was Barnyard.
Yeah, we call it Barnyard. So the Barnyard
Okay.
was an Amnesia Haze with a Blue Dream. Amnesia Haze with blue. He crossed it. He did the male plant.
He did everything.
The silver, the colloidal. So did all. He's a dude.
Hell yeah.
Makes his fig plants.
He's a fucking
Italian
farmer, bro.
Yeah,
That's what we call him, Barnyard.
He's my guy, yo. But his shit was fire, and I got a couple seeds from him. I'm actually excited. I just popped them the other day, and I'm excited to see how they turn out because, like you said, everything doesn't always pass on if you don't pay attention to it. And my man, he's meticulous, so I know it's gonna be some fire. I'm excited for it, yo.
Yeah, I mean, and too, it's like depending on the environmental conditions that you have the new line in, you could express different things.
Right.
Outdoor, indoor, greenhouse, nutrients.
I'm using. I actually use this stuff. Foop Newts. I don't know if you heard of it. It's all
never heard of it.
It's all like a fish based nutrients. All supposed to be all organic.
Oh, fish shit.
Yeah, fish shit. Dude, absolutely, bro.
Oh yeah, I know those guys. Of course. Yeah.
Bro,
I see them at all the trade shows, dude. We hang out in there.
I use that shit. I love it, bro. It's like my third time using it, third run, and I love it, dude. It smells like shit sometimes. You got to clean it up. Stay on your piss, stay on your runoff.
Brand?
It's called Foop.
Okay.
And it's fucking dope. Yeah, I love it, dude. It's all like
fish shit.
Yeah, it smells like crap, dude. But I use that with the cocoa, and I don't really add much more to it. And my shit seems to love it.
Oh yeah. So do you add it to a reservoir and then feed that, or?
Dude, I'm hand watering, bro. I mix my shit up. I did.
Bucket?
Yeah, bro. I'm not legally allowed to grow a bunch of weed up here, so I got fucking like 6 plants to the max. Between me and my wife, we got 3
Even
each.
then, get like a 30-gallon brute trash can and get a sump pump and a small hose and just recirculate and make it.
I get on my hands and knees. I talk to my plants, bro. I spend time.
Oh man.
I'm a small time. I love like a little art to me, a little fun, little hobby to spend time.
It is fun. Growing's great.
Yep. Me crawling around a 5x5.
Dude, yeah, I haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, I got 3 feet of crawl space, dude. It's awesome. Yeah, I love
it. I couldn't imagine. I was not my fat ass trying to crawl through that shit.
I tried to veg my shits tall before I topped them, so I had more space to get underneath for water.
How many plants can you have there right now in flower?
6 per adult in the household.
Yeah, 3 mature, 3 behind it.
Yeah.
Wait, 6 per adult or 6 per household?
No, 6 per household max. It's
that's not true. I think it's 6 per adult.
Nah, brother, it's 3 per adult, 3 mature plants, budding, 3 behind it, and veg. And so I guess that's 6.
That's 6,
then, right? But you can have them in the same stage because
so you can have 6 that are in veg and 6 that are in flower.
Absolutely. Yes. If you're married, if you have a spouse and you have somebody else,
damn, I gotta talk to my wife to get off the air today. Just to work some shit out.
So basically 12 plants. Then
you're right. Peace.
We need a bigger tent.
Right. 6 in flower though, absolutely. So 5x5, I got 6 plants going in there, and it fills up pretty quick.
Okay, can you get an extended plant count from the doctor there?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked into medical. I think I'm a wreck, dude. I hate the doctor, bro.
What about the doctor?
I don't. Can
just
you get
to be able to grow more?
More. I think you can. I think for medically, you can grow more.
I think there is a difference.
The way
I don't know what it is.
More is better because I consume.
AKG, they got four. What is it? 4 pp and 8 per household.
4 per person,
8 per household. Okay.
Okay.
So we're the same thing. It's 6 for us.
Peace.
Yeah. That's it. All right. Yeah. That's it. That's pretty good. Though. That's not bad.
That's all you need, especially for personal. Like, I'm not yielding fucking massive. Dude, it's great. I grow enough to get me to the next grow. I smoke all that. I smoke all that. And I smoke all that. And serve my man's menu. He got all different flavors. I grow this. I grow that. And we get in there.
Next week, I'll be smoking the Terpicana Extracts.
Great, there you go. That's crazy. Like here in Colorado, you can get a medical card for 99 plants.
99 plants on a medical card? What the fuck?
It's been like that for a long time.
Pack it up.
Tell the wife it's time to go.
Okay, you like 6 months here, 6 months there, something like that. We'll come back for the wife.
Fuck, I ain't coming back. I'm pulling Kyle.
Tell my kids I love them.
The kids, damn.
For years, I could grow 99 plants because I had the 99 count medical card, and this is from I'd say 2013 to 20 like after COVID, and you could have a massive plant count. But back in the day, you could go to the dispensary with your 99 plant count, and then on it told you how much you could buy per day and how much you could have on you. So with the 99 count, usually you would be able to carry like 30, I think it was 33 ounces on you of flower. And it wasn't
peas.
And go to the actually go to the dispensary and be able to buy
two to top and one to smoke.
Per day. And this is when there was no tracking or anything. So a lot of people came here to like kind of exploit that at the time, because we were you can go to the dispensary and buy 2 pounds a day. There's no tracking on who's going where, what money is being spent, nothing.
Right.
And it was a wild scene as far as, just like there was no recreational, I guess there was still, but Colorado's changed a lot, but I think that other states have seen what we've done and they've been like, yeah, we're going to do it a little different.
Yeah.
Like we don't have consumption here really. Like there's one place in Denver right now you can go and smoke, I think maybe 2. That's it. Like you can't.
Damn. That's it.
Yeah, it's they never figured it out.
That's sad. That's unfortunate.
For sure.
That piece does suck, though. So let me ask you, man, what's on the pipeline for Terpicana? Anything in the
I mean, really just new flavors, new strains. We just released a very limited batch lemonade product with live resin in it. We teamed up with a guy who his name is Lemonade Daydreams here, and he makes lemonade from scratch. Everything is top of the line, and it's basically infused with our live resin. So
shit, there you go. Yeah,
you open the bottle and you just smell it. I think we did 500 milligrams of THCA per bottle.
Ooh, shit. That's gonna smack you in the face.
And people, I think someone got one and they said they fell asleep, like slept the whole, like they just fell asleep like when they shouldn't have, they were.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah.
That does happen.
That's it.
My man, listen, I just appreciate you coming on the show, hanging out with us. Couple stoners from Connecticut.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Hanging out, learning about Terpicana, the extracts, the process. Man, I learned a fucking fuck ton tonight. I gotta tell you, man. I hope everybody watching it too, because that shit was fucking funny and educational all at the same time. I love that shit.
We could go on for hours and hours and hours.
I could have.
Yeah, there's a lot.
We'd be on that shit right now. We would just keep this bitch going all night long. That's fine. We'll just have you back for round 2. That's it.
There you go. I'm ready.
Yeah, man. Listen, I appreciate you coming out, hanging out with us. Make sure y'all check out our man Kyle, Terpicana Extracts on IG. Give them a follow. You guys got a website?
Nope, we don't right now. That's the thing, is we've kept it very small scale. So we're not,
Right.
we're not trying to be out there like a lot of these other brands are. And
Your packaging alone looks beautiful.
I know. That's why I
thank you.
figured
Yeah,
you gotta have the orange citrusy flavor going out there.
Pink lemonade joint you was talking about.
yeah, for sure. I mean, you saw the boxes, obviously.
Yeah, look at that shit. It's
I know.
fire,
I know. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, these are dope. So,
Man, you're doing it right, bro. You're doing it right. I'm excited to check it out. We're gonna be smoking it and trying it out next week on the show live, so it's gonna be fucking dope.
let's go.
And, yeah, man, keep in touch. Let's get you back on again. Thank you for your time, bro. Keep representing CT, man.
I will, for sure. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate you having me.
No doubt, man. Have a good one, bro.
Yeah, you too.